Alright, sorry that this video took so long. Just been trying to get some gameplay for this, but I can't seem to figure it out, so I'll have to figure out something out for that. But I did get a new mic. Haven't set that up. We're gonna have to use this garbage headset mic for now. So for today's video, we're gonna be talking about a guy named Sneako. I've watched a little bit of his content after I was introduced to him via his cuties video, which we are going to be talking about today. But I gotta admit, the rest of his content isn't that bad. I actually like what he's got going on. He seems to do a lot of like kind of like similar to Change My Mind videos, which is really nice. We like to have discussion, even if it's something that's not necessarily a good thing to say. You know, it's a controversial opinion. He may not even have that opinion, which is nice. Like, do black people steal, or is it okay to be a billionaire or something like that? Actually, that might be gone. But yeah, it's the rest of his content seems okay for the most part. It's not like Mr. Girl, which is good. So the video we're going to be talking about is I Have a Confession. Cuties is my new favorite film, where he talks about why he likes cuties, and I know I'm singling him out because a lot of people who aren't pedos, who don't come off as pedos, like Mr. Girl, are defending this movie from an artistic point of view, and it's something that I think we should regard because there's a lot of people having this opinion, and we need to show them that this is not okay. And yeah, I'm really into these film types of things. You know, talking about art, it's like, oh, where do we draw the line? And I'm just gonna tell you, cuties is definitely way past the line. And this is not. I made sure this is not just a video of him like having a controversial opinion like he does in the other ones, to like try and start conversation. No, he's actually trying to defend the movie, and I don't really like how he comes off in this one. The way he presents his argument is a little bit disingenuous. He talks about critical in this one too. I made a comment on the video as well, which you guys can go see if you want to. But it's important that we really explain what's bad about cuties to some people because they don't seem to understand it. And specifically, my generation, Gen Z, a lot of people don't seem to understand uh, the harm that you can do with kids like this. I mean, a lot of Mini Lad's fan base were very young children, and they didn't understand what he did wrong, and that's a problem. That's a huge issue. You know, I understand it's kids, but that's a thing that especially parents, they should let their children know that this is a bad thing. We should not be doing this to kids. Why? Because children can't consent. And yeah, let's just get right into the video. I'm already spending a little bit too much time. Don't want to make a 20-minute video like last time. I really appreciate the support on my last video. I know it's most people that I know, but I did get a good amount of views, and I got some subscribers from that. It's really nice, and it really motivates me to keep doing this kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much. All right, let's get into the video and see what's popping.
And I even tweeted like, "Cuties is clickbait. This was a pretty good movie," and everybody replying like, "I'm unfollowing you. This is the limit, Sneako. This is the limit." I can guarantee you, none of you saw the fucking movie, dummies. How do you criticize a movie that you didn't see? How does
And we get to the first part that I don't really like. Telling your opposition that they're dummies, and how do you just criticize something if you didn't see it, and that the movie's clickbait? It's not. The movie's not clickbait. Don't regard your the people who disagree with you as dummies and assume that they didn't watch the movie, because there are people who watched the movie and did not like it for good reason. The movie has some good plot points in it, like the B plot, but the rest of it, sexualizing kids, that's not good. That's just not fun to watch. That's not good to watch. That's not good that's in a movie and easily accessible. We can't support something like this, and that is my first problem here with him, because you think a guy like him who goes around with his controversial opinions, not even his necessarily, but he wants to start conversation. He'd be a bit more delicate when approaching this kind of stuff, because this is a extremely controversial opinion that he has here. But no, he's just gonna be like, oh, I bet you didn't see the movie. You're a dummy. And we'll see more of his arguments, and most of his arguments are absolutely stupid. I'm sorry, Sneako. Or actually, no, I'm not, because these arguments are very harmful to have. It's very stupid. And yeah, I just had to let you know that, like, absolutely, because it's dumb. It's really dumb what you say in here. And
really funny is how different the covers are for the release of the European version of Cuties and the American version of Cuties. The European version is just like a normal thing. It says mignon and just like girls playing, because to them this is a movie about growing pains, about childhood. It's a coming of age film. But here we only see the most provocative parts of the film.
yeah, we'll get back to the European part of it. His argument about how in Europe they saw it differently. I wouldn't take Europe as a good standard for this, because well, we'll get into it. Let's just keep going here. He brings
up. The reason that I uninstalled TikTok was because every time I'd go on, there would be a 13, probably a 13-year-old girl dancing to WAP. There's some whores in this. The thing about Cuties is it's not an unrealistic film. Like, yes, it shows children in a sexual way, but this is not unusual now. And the people who are really mad about this aren't Gen Z.
So I have to agree with him in 2 points here on TikTok. I mean, I don't personally have it, but I see it a lot, and I know one of my friends, that one of their family members who's really young has a TikTok, and they do all that twerking garbage. That's disgusting. And then he goes into saying how it is normalized, and I'd say no, that's not true, but it honestly kind of is now, with the new that Denmark show, Danish show, whatever you want to say. The adults stripping in front of the children of 11 and 12-year-olds. That's really disgusting. You have Mini Lad, who wasn't demonetized or done anything to him for quite a while, and then you have cuties like that. This kind of stuff is, we're getting way too comfortable with sexualizing children. Then he gets into saying how it's not an unrealistic film, which usually I'd say no, that's not true. But it's kind of becoming that. We have some very poor parents out there, and it seems to be getting worse and worse every day. This is not something that should be normalized, though. And to say that it's normal and just leave it off as that and be like, oh, it's very realistic, so it's fine. That's not okay. That's not okay either, because this film is trying to stop that normalization. The message is to not sexualize kids, and it does it, and it contributes to that normalization. That shouldn't be. That's not what it should do. It should make you mad because it had potential to do something, and it did the exact opposite. The whole message of the film is ruined when you have a thing like this where it's completely contributing to the issue. Visuals are more impactful, but not when it's something that's borderline illegal to actually be illegal. As if it's like saying that that rape is bad, and then in a movie you rape somebody. That's really stupid. And who is exactly? Show me what pedophile is going to be watching this movie and be like, oh man, that really taught me to not touch children. Thank you, cuties. Seeing that black girl dance on the steps with her friends, shaking her little ass. I mean, wow, that really taught me not to sexualize children. Thank you very much.
What the film actually points out is a difference between generations, how it doesn't really make sense to force kids to be in this completely religious, praying, throwing water on them.
He's absolutely right here. That usually that stuff is not going to work. We don't force kids to do that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that they should go out and normalize being sexualized. That's not okay. Children cannot consent to that. Do people not understand this? It's so mind-boggling to me that I have to explain that to a man who's older than me, or explain it to anybody at all who's over the age of like 15. This stuff should be taught. This stuff is taught in schools. That's what I thought. I was taught this in schools. Like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this stuff. You guys can't consent to being sexualized. This is not okay. This is not okay stuff. Just because it's happening more doesn't mean it's like, oh well, let's go on with the times. This kind of argument is so dumb. Where it's like, oh, the people who are getting mad about this, aren't Gen Z. That's dumb. That's not true. I'm Gen Z. My friends are Gen Z. Like, it's retarded to say that just because it's being like what? So let's say like school shootings are being normalized. What, Gen Z people aren't gonna get mad about that? That's retarded. That's absolutely retarded. Why would you ever say something like that? Like, there's clearly a gap in generations as to how children are treated. But that doesn't mean that Gen Z are going to be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sexualized kids, that's fine, because I was sexualized. That's not how that works. Mr. Girl made another argument like that where he said, oh, we sound like old fogies. That's stupid, too. We don't. Like, oh, you don't like seeing a little girl shake her ass on the steps? Well, okay, boomer. Shut up. Stop it.
Yes, there are scenes where the girls are dancing and like probably a little too much, but then immediately after, they're crying. And then they face the consequences of their action.
Again, the message is just fine. I don't know exactly if he's right, if like right after they're facing the consequences of their actions, but I know they do face consequences for their actions. But change the way that you show the message. Get adults that look like children. Get adults that look younger. Why do you have to choose actual children? That is the issue. Nobody is saying that the plot is the issue, because I doubt there's anybody who watched the movie completely. Like Diesel Patches, he said the message is good, the B plot is good, but the way that they go about it is absolutely piss poor. You cannot show a message while contributing to the problem. That's really stupid to do. Children can't consent to this stuff.
Kids naturally just rebel. Kids naturally just don't want to do what they're told to do. So if you tell a kid, put on a headscarf, pray every day, dancing is for the devil, then they're gonna do it. If you told your kid that, oh, it's okay to express yourself, you can go to a dance class, probably shouldn't twerk and, shove your vagina in a camera if you're 11, then they're gonna be normal people.
This is another part that I agree with them. Helicopter parents, I believe, do more harm than good most of the time. It depends on the kid. Kids react differently because most people are different. Helicopter parents can do a lot more harm because when you uh, harp on your kid that much, they naturally want to go against it. Children naturally are going to rebel against something that's a taboo. People are going to naturally rebel against something that's a taboo. That's probably part of the reason why Mr. Girl made his video and Sneako's making this video. Naturally wants to go against the grain. That's how people are. People don't want to seem like sheep. And while I can appreciate that or respect that, there's sometimes is a reason why most people are agreeing on something, why the vast majority of people are agreeing on something. It's because there's probably something legitimately wrong with it. Not everybody just kind of jumps on a bandwagon. Just
If you're really pissed off about this movie, you just don't fucking understand growing up with social media.
And then this argument here, it's the same thing as before, where it's like just disregarding anybody who disagrees with him. It's like if you don't understand this movie, you just don't understand growing up with social media. That's just not accurate. It's just not accurate. Because there's probably, I mean, I understand growing up with social media. I've grown up with social media. I'm 19 years old, but I still understand that sexualizing kids is bad. What is it? Why is that so hard to understand?
A major criticism of this film was that it's child porn, that they were just showing these kids and that it's gonna bring a bunch of pedophiles in. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not more than anything else that's on the internet now.
I'd like to see him say that to the faces of the girls as well. Well, it's okay that you were sexualized because other things happened to other girls as well. So it's okay. It's normal now. You guys can be sexualized. What kind of an argument is that? It's so ass backwards. Like because there's already pedophiles, it's okay to sexualize these girls. That's not how that works. The point of the movie is to not sexualize kids. That's the theme. Do not sexualize kids. Sexualizing kids is bad. And then you just actively defend it in sexualizing kids. That's not how that works. Just because there are pedophiles doesn't mean it's like, oh, well, it's not going to bring any more in. So, it's okay to make the movie. It's okay to sexualize these kids. I'd like to see him say that to these girls in about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 8 years, somewhere around there, where their lives are being affected by this very greatly. And he's like, oh, it's okay, though. They didn't bring any more pedophiles. And just the regular pedophiles, the ones that have been around for a while, masturbated to you guys. And, it's now all over the internet. It's okay now.
Americans are like, this is deplorable. I saw this commentator, Penguin Zero, who I actually like. There's not a lot of good commentators, but he's like, this movie is deplorable. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing. And it's like he didn't even watch the movie. It's just like he only saw the clips that were going to piss him off.
Alright, this is the part where I shill for critical. Uh, this is really stupid. I mean, I've already explained this so many times that it's kids. It's kids. All the good parts of the movie are completely negated by the fact that they had kids dancing in front of a camera. They told the girl to strip down and take a picture or take a fake picture of her vagina. That children cannot consent to that. That's not legal. That's not okay. Do you not understand that? If it were adults that looked like kids, that would be fine. Then it would be looked at as more artistic than anything else. It still might be controversial, but it would still be looked at as more artistic in your point of view right now. I don't understand. Like, what is hard to understand about this? It's kids. It's actual kids. They're not adults that are pretending to be kids. These are actual kids. If it wasn't actual kids, there would be significantly less problems with this movie right now.
People on Twitter were saying, like, these kids need therapy, the parents need to be put in jail, the director needs to be jailed. No, man, no. These actresses were really good.
Oh my god, these actresses were really good. They're kids, my guy. They're kids. Come on, dude.
It's a movie you need to watch with empathy. Don't watch with outrage like everything else nowadays. Watch it with empathy. Not everything is as linear as jail, cancel this, that. No. Watch it like you're a human.
I am watching with empathy. I'm watching with empathy for the girls who were involved with this movie because this is going to follow them for the rest of their life, and they may suffer because of it, and they probably already are suffering because of it. This is a huge mistake and a huge problem on Netflix. Like, this is not okay to do this. Pretty much, his argument is just summed up as, you just don't understand. If you don't like it, you didn't understand it, and that's just so disingenuous and gross. You really have to be careful with how you present your argument because it's very, very badly how you presented it here. And I like a lot of what he does before him. I'm not subscribed to him or anything, but I like that he tries to start conversation and stuff like that. But the movie could have been the best movie ever. The movie could have been literally the most artistically beautiful movie, so correct on so many points, but the problem isn't the movie per se, it's what it's advocating for, and how poorly it presents how it presents its theme. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for this video. Sorry it took so long. I've been trying to see if I can do gameplay for it, but I had a huge issue with it and trying to record a certain game. Plus, my laptop isn't really meant for it, so it's gonna be really hard. Hopefully, if I can get like a next gen console, I'll be able to more easily do it there and then put it onto my laptop. If my laptop can handle it. It's gonna take a little bit of time. It's gonna take a little bit of time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe is free, whatever. And catch you guys in the next one. Stay frosty.